Does real music still exist in 2024? I think the answer is yes, but you find it in the most unexpected of places, and it isn't exactly what you think it might be. Now, to start this off, of course, let me just explain where I am, why I'm dressed like this. I'm at a wedding, a friend's wedding. I'm in the Oberoi in Gurgaon in Delhi, New Delhi, capital of India. So there's that. But let's get back to music. If you look at commentary on the music industry, whether it's from Rick Beato, whether it's even from people like myself, you look at the charts, you look at um, what purports to be popular on TikTok, it's quite easy to come to the conclusion that uh, you know things don't exactly feel rosy. Of course, there are bits and pieces that you enjoy, but I always feel like there is a sense that for music to be good in 2024, it needs to be breaking new ground. So when we think of good music, we're thinking of bands. If you're thinking of not the pop bands, but we're thinking about it in general, good music, we're thinking of bands that are making a new sound, that are breaking new ground. That is good music. But a couple of things over the last couple of days made me think about how good music doesn't have to be on the charts. It doesn't have to be breaking new ground. It just has to be having the intended effect that music has. Um, Now, I am a big Pink Floyd fan. I am a big David Gilmour fan. And for some reason, the YouTube algorithm had not recommended his latest album to me, but I just came across it yesterday. And I came across the song, I think it's Between 2 Points with him, David Gilmour, and his daughter, Romany Gilmour. It's a very simple song. No, if you think of it musically, there's no new ground being broken. It's not following any of the regular things that you expect from a hit song, like like a particular chorus or structure, a certain like thing like that. But it just is amazing music. There's something very emotional about that song. Of course, Romney Gilmer has done a great job. If you watch the video, you also get that entire father-daughter vibes between David Gilmour and his daughter. But nonetheless, even isolated from that entire bit, there's just something there. I mean, the vocals are just, it's not breaking any new ground, but it just works. And even David Gilmour's solo, of course, David Gilmour's guitar soloing style, and full disclosure, David Gilmour is probably my favorite, if not my top three guitar players of all time. There's something in the simplicity and recognizability. Again, he's not breaking any new ground. You compare his solo in 2024 to his solo in 1973 in The Dark Side of the Moon. You can't say that he's advanced. This need to advance constantly. It's a fairly, it's a human urge, which is a good thing. But in the context of music, you don't necessarily have to constantly advance, right? This is not technology. It doesn't need to advance every single day. So if the way David Gilmour plays guitar, if it worked in 1973, it works in 2024. And that song, it's been on repeat this entire time. And I was trying to figure out, why is it that I like it so much? Of course, I'm a big David Gilmour fan, but plenty of his songs I've not, listened to twice. Somehow it just works. That's the thing with the irrational. That's the thing with ineffable, that you recognize it when you see it. And that's what good music can be sometimes. It can be just there. You recognize it, you see it. You don't have to analyze it too much to figure out. You don't have to think, okay, this went from this note of the minor scale to that note of the major scale, or whatever else it might be. The human mind, indeed, the human constitution, forget human, even the animal constitution, perhaps in some cases, knows good music when it sees it. And talking about not necessarily needing to constantly advance or cover new ground to be good music. So in this wedding that I'm attending, we've been treated to a performance by Qawwali artists. And Qawwali is just quite an old form from this particular part of Southeast Asia. Just to give you a sense of what it sounds like, I recommend you look for Afreen, Afreen. Just look for Afreen, repeat the word twice. Coke Studio. You look that up. Coke is, of course, Coca-Cola. You'll find something that has over 500 million views. Just listen to that. I'll give you a sense of what Qawwali is. That's a slightly modernized version. So I've been listening to, we were just having a performance earlier tonight of one of the most acclaimed Qawwali artists here in Delhi, the Nizami brothers. And I was just listening to the struggle, because I can't help but listen to music through both as a fan of music, but also to a little bit of an analytical ear. And I was noticing it's the same chorus again and again. It's kind of folksy. Folk music, if you look at it, whether it's in India, whether it's in other parts of the world, um, folk music can be very repetitive. The folk melody is probably the same today as it was 500,000 years ago, certain folk melodies. If I think of another band that I really like, Nightwish, they have quite a bit of a folk element in their music. It's not very complicated. It's basically the same motif repeating again and again. Even the motif is not the most complex piece of music. It's not jazz, but somehow it just works. And that's the thing. I think because we have this obsession with technology, with everything in the world becoming better, medicine becoming better, the car that you drive becoming more efficient, the phone that you are using becoming better every single week, or rather every single year. Somehow even though we know music is different, even though we know that art is different, we kind of look at it through that eye. And I don't think that eye is correct. I think with music, we shouldn't overthink it. We shouldn't expect innovation in order to be excellent. Sometimes excellence just comes from existing. Sometimes excellence just comes from using a trope. The trope exists for a long period of time. Certain tropes, certain archetypes just work. There is a hero's archetype that works in storytelling. It works for a reason. We are humans can be sometimes fairly simplistic creatures. So when it comes to music, I think all of this discussion on the state of music in 2024 is irrelevant, because the state of music isn't particularly relevant, because all the music that has been created is still available to you. It is just the new music that is getting added every year. So when we think of the state of music, it's about what is the new stuff that is getting added every year. And honestly, you don't need newness every single year. You don't need something to have something new every single year. This is just this modern little bit of self-hypnotism that we've done to ourselves as a society, that expecting something new or something better all the time. No, the state of music in 2024 is great. Real music exists in 2024 because real music has already been made. It's just there for us to enjoy. Okay, we are not very happy with some of the new artists, though there are a lot of great new artists out there. It doesn't matter. In the entire back catalogue of the human civilization, whatever music is getting created in 2024 is a minuscule, it's nothing. It's absolutely nothing in the context of the absolute amount of back catalogue. All the great music is there for you to enjoy. And so even if you see something new or you find something that you like, if you like it, you like it. In Between Two Points by David Gilmour and Romany Gilmour is not breaking any new ground. But hey, I'm very, very happy to listen to it. It gives me a lot of, it just works. It just works. So yeah, there are enough reasons to feel, negative in the context of particularly relatively unusual level of geopolitical activity happening in the world, but since 2020, particularly in 2024 also. So let's keep music as something that gives you positive vibes. Don't flame out over this particular artist sucks or whatever. Even if you don't like Justin Bieber's Baby, don't be the one of those people who dislikes it, as an example. Right? Just enjoy music. Don't expect it to be innovative, to be great. Just go with your gut. And yeah, and I think you will find this entire musical journey much better. All right, folks, slightly different video since I'm in a slightly different location. I'll see you next time.